Are you searching for a non-complicated, entertaining and very dynamic game about tank warfare? Well, I did search for such a game, and I believe that I have found it. Hello, this is Michel Leviathan Sorbet, and this is a new episode of Wojennik TV. Games about tanks tend to be big games, tend to have a lot of rules, a lot of elements, a lot of tables, a lot of combat resolution charts. But not all of them, and I'd like to show you today a game which is a simple game about tank warfare. This will be the unboxing of Panzer Strike France 1944 Pocket. The game was published by Forsage Games and it was designed by Predrag Lazovic and Dragan Lazovic. The game is for 2 players aged 12 or higher and the time of play will be somewhere around 45 to 60 minutes. It's a mini game in a small but elegant and intriguing box. And today I'd like to open the box and share with you my initial thoughts after unveiling all those elements which are inside. So let's check how Panzer Strike looks. Here is the small but elegant box of Panzer Strike, the board game, France 1944 Pocket Edition, designed by Predrag Lazovic and Dragan Lazovic. At the box cover you can see a tank shooting at another tank on the back side of the box. You have also an information that this game has been designed in the minimum complexity, maximum diversity system, so we should now see inside. Not a lot of elements, not very complex rules, but a lot of diversity when it comes to the gameplay. As you can see, we have also an information that if you have 2 copies of the game, you can use components coming from both and you can create a bigger playing area. We have also the list of the different elements which are inside of this small box. Here we have also a confirmation that this is a game for 2 players. The time of play will be somewhere around 60 minutes, which for such a small game is quite long, and the minimum age of the player will be 12 years or higher. Let's now take a look inside. At first we can instantly see that we receive 5 dice. Now those dice are white dice, wooden dice, and we will have to apply stickers on them in order to use them. So those dice are blank at the beginning. We have 4 small stands, the flags, which will be probably used to track targets or maybe to track headquarters, I'll see. But you have 2 yellow and 2 green ones. Then we have the tanks and other elements. As you can see, the tanks in different colors. We have red ones, yellow ones, purple, blue, green. Each of them will represent a different type of vehicle. We have also some other markers, as you can see, some markers which will represent, let me tell you, we have barricade counters and damage markers, so they all will be used also to track some things during the game. Now, as you can see, those tanks are differentiated only by their color. It's the same type of miniature, and those miniatures will be placed onto the board, and this board will be created with terrain tiles, and we receive quite a lot of them inside, as you can see. Here they are. Now each of those tiles is double-sided. It has a grid, so there will be a possibility to place a tank on each of those grids. As you can see, Those grids are quite big, so they can store more than one tank. I do not know if this will be possible in the game, maybe not. But both those tiles, as you can see, represent mainly urban areas, so you won't be fighting somewhere on the eastern front. You won't be fighting somewhere on the western front in the bocage areas of Normandy, for instance. You'll be fighting urban warfare with some streets, with some buildings, and the diversity will be due to the fact that, as I said earlier, those are double-sided tiles, so each time you will be able to construct a different battlefield. We receive the stickers, which will be applied to the white dice, 30 stickers. Each die will receive a set of 6 stickers in order to stick them onto the different faces. We have a ruler, as you can see, to measure distance, because shooting at certain distance will be allowed, that others will be prohibited. The firepower will probably depend on the distance at which you are shooting. We receive also a small player aid with 2 tables. One is the table B, the second one is table C. As you can see, we have also the names of different vehicles, and their color is being distinguished here. We have the Tiger, which will be red, the Panzer IV, which will be orange, Panzer 38T yellow, Churchill Sherman Covenanter. On the other side, we have the Tiger II, Panther Luchs, Jumbo, Firefly and Hellcat, different vehicles with different speed, armor, gun, so this will be the firepower, and a value, which will probably tell you how much points you will be getting when destroying such a vehicle, or it will be the cost in order to include such a unit into your army. Then we have the rules, which the rulebook is the last component inside of this box. As you can see, this is a very short rulebook. It's not even a book, it's just a sort of leaflet with rules printed on it. You have the description of the components, so as you can see, yellow and green tanks will be the light ones, then we have the medium, the heavy ones. You have movement rules, shooting and armor, measuring distance. Table A, which is printed here, you won't find it on any other player aid. We have the dice table, board assembly instructions, so you can see how to construct your playing area, and finally some additional optional rules. And that's it when it comes to the elements which are inside of Panzer Strike Pocket Edition France 1944. Now let me share with you my initial thoughts about the content of this game. I was looking for a simple game which will enable me to recreate tank battles fought during World War II. Now, Panzer Strike is not a game which is meant to be a very precise simulation of the Second World War, which will not simulate any specific tank battles fought during this conflict, because this is a game with a high volume of abstraction. But I do not have a problem with it, because it is still a Second World War II game with different kinds of tanks which were taking part in this conflict. I think that the elements of the game are correct. What I like are the double-sided terrain tiles, which will enable you to construct different battlefields. I think it's quite strange that we have only tiles which represent urban areas, because tanks are not a weapon which should be used in urban areas. They are very vulnerable to infantry attacks, but I'll see how this works during my first play. I'll show you this game again during a future review. Up until then, I invite you to take a look at our other videos. We have more unboxings, but also many English reviews on our channel. Take also a look at our Facebook and Instagram accounts. And if you want to support Wojennik TV, take also a look at our Patronite account. I wish you a terrific day and see you next time.